Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into a concept that's quite fundamental.
Hmm?
It shapes so much how we learn, how we grow, how we lead. We're talking about growth mindset versus fixed mindset.
Right. And most people will have heard of Carol Dweck, the psychologist behind it. Her book, Mindset, was, well, pretty groundbreaking.
Exactly. But we want to go a bit deeper than just the basic definitions today. We'll explore where it applies, how it applies, and maybe uncover some surprising nuances along the way.
Yeah, because it's not just abstract theory, is it? It's incredibly relevant.
Totally. If you're an educator, a parent, a professional, this really matters.
It does.
So our mission here is to help you really grasp how your own mindset might be shaping your learning journey.
We'll unpack that core distinction. The idea that some people see intelligence as
Like
fixed.
you're born with it.
Exactly. While others believe it's something you can develop through effort, using the right strategies, getting feedback.
Right. Think of this as your shortcut to getting really well informed on this, kind of beyond the buzzwords.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so just to quickly level set, Carol Dweck's core ideas. Fixed mindset first.
Uh-huh. That's basically the belief that your qualities, like intelligence or talent, are just static traits. You have a certain amount,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of it,
Set in stone.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And then the growth mindset.
That's the opposite, right? The belief that your basic abilities can be developed.
Yeah, through dedication, hard work, good strategies, input from others.
So what's really fascinating is how these beliefs then, show up in how we act.
Oh, absolutely. Someone with a more fixed mindset might shy away from challenges.
Why is that?
Well, they might see a challenge as a test of that fixed ability. If they fail, it proves they don't have it.
Oof. So they might give up easily.
They might. And mistakes feel like proof of limitation.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas someone with a growth mindset,
They'd see a challenge differently.
exactly,
Yeah.
more like an opportunity to stretch themselves, to
Wow.
learn something new.
Yeah.
They tend to persist when things get tough.
And mistakes aren't the end of the world.
Not at all. They're actually, data,
Ah.
information,
Hmm.
opportunities to figure out what went wrong and adjust. It really makes you wonder, how does this basic difference stack up over the long term?
Well, it seems to stack up quite a bit. We're not just talking philosophy here. The actual outcomes are pretty compelling.
Like with students?
Yeah, TIC students. Research shows those operating with more of a growth mindset, they tend to stick with problems longer,
Mm-hmm.
and they often get higher grades, particularly when things get difficult, like in challenging subjects. It's not just trying harder, it's how they view the effort itself.
And there's actually some cool neuroscience that backs this up.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
Well, studies looking at brain activity show that people with a growth mindset seem to process mistakes more deeply.
How so?
Their brains show more activity in a specific response called error positivity, or P, but it's like this electrical signal.
A brainwave thing.
Yeah, exactly. A brainwave component that shows up right after you make a mistake or get unexpected feedback. It seems linked to paying attention to the error and learning from it.
So their brains are almost primed to learn from slip-ups.
It looks that way. It's not just about willpower. The brain seems actively engaged in the fix-it process.
Huh. So if our brains are kind of wired for that, what does that suggest about the best way to learn or the best environments for learning?
That's a great question, because it does translate into real-world impact beyond just brain scans.
Okay.
Meta-analyses, so studies looking across lots of other studies, find that people with growth mindsets tend to do better when things are difficult. They show improvement over time.
Unlike their fixed mindset counterparts.
Often, yes. And there was this huge OECD PISA study. I think nearly 500,000 15-year-olds were involved.
Wow.
They found that kids with fixed mindset beliefs scored, on average, 32 points lower in reading.
32 points. That's significant.
It is. And that was even after accounting for socioeconomic factors. It really highlights how powerful mindset can be.
That really lands the point. Maybe we can make this more concrete with a story. Like, imagine Jasmine, right? A sophomore in high school.
Okay.
Math gets tough, and she starts thinking, I'm just not a math person. Avoids the homework, worries about looking,
Classic fixed mindset reaction.
at the...
Fear of failure confirming a perceived lack of ability.
Exactly. But then maybe there's an intervention. Someone explains that actually her brain can get stronger with effort, with trying new study methods, with asking for help.
Ah, the growth message.
Right. So Jasmine starts trying. She tackles the homework, asks questions in class, even if it feels awkward at first. And slowly.
her performance starts to improve.
Yeah, slowly but surely, it's a great little picture of a growth mindset kicking in.
And what's really compelling is seeing this effect beyond just individuals. Think about university classrooms.
Mhm.
When instructors deliberately use growth mindset language, maybe emphasizing progress, effort, strategy, not just the final grade, research shows it can really boost performance,
For everyone.
especially, it seems, for first-generation students or those from underrepresented groups.
Ah, that's interesting. Why them specifically, do you think?
Well, perhaps those students might feel more vulnerable or like they have more to prove in an academic setting. So that message, that ability isn't fixed, that effort and strategy matter, it can be particularly empowering. It shapes their beliefs and consequently their outcome.
That's a really critical point. Okay, so the benefits seem pretty clear, but we should probably tackle some common misconceptions too, right? Things people get wrong about this.
Definitely. First one, growth mindset does not just mean try harder. Effort alone isn't the magic bullet.
Right. Dweck herself really emphasized this later on. You can put a ton of effort into the wrong strategy.
Exactly. It's effort plus strategy plus seeking input or feedback. Those pieces work together.
Okay, what else?
Another one is the false growth mindset.
What's that?
It's where someone, maybe a teacher or manager, says they believe in growth, but their actions don't really back it up.
How so?
Maybe they give vague praise like, good job, without specifics, or they don't actually create opportunities for real learning from mistakes. It's paying lip service without the substance.
So the underlying beliefs and actions need to match the words. Got it. Anything else?
Yeah, one more big one. It's not like you're either fixed or growth mindset all the time.
Ah, right. It's not a binary switch.
Not at all. We're usually a mixture. You might have a growth mindset about, say, learning a new language, but a more fixed one about your artistic ability.
Or it could change depending on the situation.
Precisely. The key is really self-awareness, noticing which mindset you're in different areas of your life so you can consciously choose to shift if you want to.
That makes sense. So this brings up a practical question. Can we actually change mindsets effectively? Can small interventions make a difference?
Well, there's evidence they can. Large studies, like the National Study of Learning Mindsets, I think it involved almost 12,500 ninth graders.
Okay, yeah.
They found that even short online growth mindset programs, like under an hour, could actually boost grades and resilience for some students.
Just from an hour-long online thing.
For some, yes. But, and this is really important, we need to be cautious.
Okay, how so?
Top-tier research, including meta-analyses, suggests that just having a growth mindset isn't always enough on its own.
Ah, so it's not a magic pill.
Exactly. Context is hugely important. You need supportive learning environments. You need accurate, specific feedback. You need ongoing practice and opportunities to apply strategies. It's not a panacea.
That's a really crucial nuance. It makes me wonder, though, is there a potential downside? Like, if we push the growth mindset idea too hard without the right support, could it lead to burnout or people feeling blamed if they don't grow in situations where maybe growth isn't feasible or they lack resources?
That is an excellent point. And it actually connects to another, maybe surprising insight from Dweck herself.
Oh.
She points out there are situations where a fixed mindset might actually be, well, appropriate or even necessary.
Really? Like when?
Think about aspects of your identity that are genuinely unchanging. Maybe your sexual orientation or just the basic physical facts of aging.
Okay. Things that aren't really about skill development.
Exactly. Trying to apply a growth framework there, trying to force change on something immutable, could actually be harmful. Acceptance might be the healthier approach in those cases.
So it's about discernment, knowing where a growth mindset is most beneficial.
Precisely. When it comes to skills, intelligence, character traits, things that clearly can be developed, the evidence strongly suggests a growth mindset leads to better learning and resilience. But for those core 5 aspects of self, acceptance is key.
That clarifies things a lot. Okay, so shifting back to where growth is the goal, how can we actively foster it, let's say, for educators?
Great question. First off, language matters. Focus on the process.
So instead of, you're so smart,
Try something like, wow, you really worked hard on that problem and the strategy you used paid off. Or, I see improvement because you persisted. It connects success to effort and strategy.
it makes sense. What else?
Teach students about the brain. Explain neuroplasticity, the idea that the brain can change and grow stronger with effort. That knowledge itself can be empowering.
Like telling Jasmine her brain isn't fixed.
Exactly. Third, normalize struggle. Share stories, maybe famous people, maybe your own, about facing setbacks and learning from them. It makes mistakes seem less like failures and more like part of the process.
Takes the sting out of it.
It does. And finally, provide feedback that is genuinely growth-oriented, not just a grade, but formative feedback.
Like asking questions.
Yeah, this was challenging. What did you learn from it? Or what might you try differently next time? These kinds of strategies help build resilience, creativity, and ultimately make students more like lifelong learners.
Okay, that's helpful for educators. What about for parents? Similar ideas.
Very similar. Again, praise the process, the effort, the strategies used, not just you're a natural, but I notice how you kept trying different ways to solve that puzzle. Your persistence is great.
Focus on the doing.
Right. And that little word, yet. It's so powerful.
Oh, yes, the not yet.
Instead of I can't do this, encourage I can't do this yet. It implies possibility and future success.
Simple, but effective.
Definitely. Also, parents can model their own growth mindset. Talk about things you're learning, mistakes you've made. I'm trying this new recipe and oops, burn the first batch. It's how I learn.
Makes it okay for kids to stumble too.
Exactly. And encourage drafts, revisions, feedback loops rather than demanding perfection on the first try. It aligns with how the brain actually learns best, especially under stress. Focus on process, not just pressure.
Okay, and finally, what about in the workplace? For professionals, leaders, managers.
Same core principles apply. Leaders can foster learning cultures where it's safe to experiment, even to fail sometimes, as long as learning happens.
Psychological safety.
Absolutely. Offer feedback that's specific, focuses on development, what worked, what could be tweaked.
Growth-oriented feedback again.
Showcase growth stories within the team or organization. Maybe leaders share their own learning journeys, mistakes included.
Normalizes it from the top.
Right. And crucially, measure and reward the right things. Not just final outcomes, but also improvement, curiosity, persistence, collaboration. This ties into ideas from positive organizational scholarship building workplaces where people can genuinely flourish.
Now, we should also acknowledge that it's not all smooth sailing. Mindset interventions haven't always worked perfectly everywhere, have they?
No, that's true. There have been replication challenges,
Mm-hmm.
particularly some studies with college students didn't find the same strong effects, and the impact can definitely vary across different cultures.
Which brings us back to that context point.
It really does. And these critiques are important. They highlight that just sort of dropping a mindset message onto people isn't enough if the surrounding structures don't support it.
Like, teachers need training on how to actually do growth mindset teaching.
Exactly. And organizations need cultures and systems that genuinely value learning and development, not just talk about it.
So the takeaway seems to be mindset matters, yes.
But context, support, and systemic changes matter just as much, maybe even more. You need to combine the mindset work with tangible changes in teaching, feedback, culture, the whole environment.
Okay. So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, maybe it's a good moment for everyone listening to just reflect on this journey into mindset.
Yeah, it's clear that understanding the mindset concept is, well, it's crucial. But its real power, its potential, is really unlocked when you pair it with those supportive environments we talked about.
And the right kind of feedback.
Accurate, constructive feedback, absolutely. And those deliberate cultural shifts. It's about creating the conditions for a growth mindset to actually thrive.
Definitely. So thinking about actionable takeaways for you, the listener, what stands out from our chat? First, maybe embracing learning as a journey, not just a destination or a finish line.
Yeah, that's key.
And when challenges pop up or things don't work out, remembering to ask questions, reflect on what happened, and adjust your approach.
That active reflection piece.
Right. And when giving praise, whether to yourself or others, focusing on effort plus strategy.
Not just innate talent.
Exactly. And using that powerful phrase, not yet, when you hit a wall. Use it with confidence.
I love that one.
And finally, maybe actively celebrating growth stories. Your own and those you see in others.
Yeah, sharing those narratives reinforces the possibility of growth.
So if we zoom out for a final thought.
Well, I think understanding and actively cultivating a growth mindset, especially when it's combined with those supportive structures and practices, it's not just about individual achievement. It's really about fostering entire environments, homes, classrooms, workplaces, where continuous learning and resilience become the norm for everyone involved.
That's a powerful vision. Okay, so here's a final provocative thought for you to take away and mull over. How might consciously applying these insights about mindset, feedback, environment transform not just your approach to learning and challenges,
Hmm.
but also the culture around you? In your classroom, your home, your workplace, how could it help turn everyone into, well, a lifelong explorer?
Something to think about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep nurturing that curiosity and keep growing.